In the past year or two, NASCAR has been adding a lot of new NASCAR tracks or tracks to the NASCAR schedule, whether it's the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, or the Cup Series, or all three. We've seen new road courses like Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. For the Cup Series, we've seen Road America added to the schedule. We have also seen new ovals added like Nashville Super Speedway, and we have also seen something completely new, which is the Bristol Motor Speedway with dirt. Well, now we have a couple of new possibilities. One of them is for the Cup Series. The other one is a new track for NASCAR. It's a bit shocking. I'm sure you've read the title of this video, but it is a bit shocking to what it is. So let's look at what Adam Stern has reported. NASCAR has held discussions with Worldwide Technology Raceway Gateway in recent months about potentially awarding the track a 2022 Cup Series race per sources, though the current status of the talks is unclear. The LA Coliseum short track idea is another one NASCAR has continued to explore. That first one, let's talk about that first one first. Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway, whatever you want to call it. For the Cup Series, I think this is a great idea. It's a 1.25 mile track, pretty flat track. Truck Series has run there for a number of years. Xfinity Series used to run there. It's had some classic NASCAR highlights that you've seen. Of course, the Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards crash to the finish was there, but I think that's a good move. Anything to get rid of 1.5 mile, 2 mile intermediate tracks, or races at least. I think we should still go to some of them, but you know, the less the better in my opinion. More unique racetracks are better for NASCAR and Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway, Gateway, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Gateway. Is a unique racetrack. It's a 1.2 mile track, 1.25 mile track, as I said earlier. It's a different track than anything we've seen in the Cup Series. It's not quite, I mean, it's a unique track, and I think the Cup Series would race well here. I think it would be a good addition to the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. It's already hosted NASCAR events, so you don't have to worry about messing with the grandstands or anything. I don't think so. I think they have a decent capacity. I haven't checked, but I think they do have a good capacity limit, so they got stands and all that. They've hosted a NASCAR race. They know how to run operations for a NASCAR race, so they know what they are doing. So I think that would be a good decision to add Gateway to the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. As it says, the status of the talks is unclear. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they were talking a couple of months ago, then they took some time off, then they're going to go back to it later. I don't know what that means. I don't know when the schedule's coming out. I really don't, but I do think that would be a good addition to the schedule, so hopefully they can get that on the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. The next thing, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't know where to go with this one. I really don't. The LA Coliseum, which is a football stadium, it's also hosted Olympic events. I mean, I don't know what to say. They're thinking about hosting a NASCAR race, or they're exploring the NASCAR's exploring the option of hosting a NASCAR race in the LA Coliseum. You know, I first saw this. It's a short track. At first, I saw LA Coliseum. I was like, oh, cool. A street circuit around the LA Coliseum, kind of like what they're doing with F1 down in Miami around the Hard Rock Stadium. That's kind of cool. But then I saw short track, and I was like, what? In a football stadium? A giant football stadium that's like enclosed, like an enclosed football stadium? You know, like people were bringing up Bowman Gray Stadium, but like if you look at that, it's got like an open end. So like you can expand the racetrack kind of. And that I don't know how they designed that, but anyways, the stadium is closed off. Like it's closed. You can't like expand it. You can't like go through an open area and try to expand it into a racetrack. It is closed. There are stands all the way around. There's an entrance, a giant entrance with a giant concrete wall thing. This is a closed thing. And here's the thing. A few years ago, Bristol Motor Speedway, a half-mile NASCAR track, hosted a football game, a college football game between Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Well, they put the football field in the middle, and it did not even reach the pits. That is how small a football field is in comparison to a half-mile NASCAR track. I probably put a picture up, but it's tiny compared to a NASCAR track. 40 NASCAR Cup Series cars, 35, 40 trucks, 40 Xfinity cars if they're doing a race for each series, Please explain to me how you would get 40 cars on a track inside a football stadium. Now, Bowman Gray is the example I'm using because that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing that's been brought up. That is a quarter-mile racetrack. I don't know how many cars they run in those races. I don't know what kind of cars they run in those races, to be honest with you. I know it's a NASCAR-sanctioned track, so I'm assuming some type of stock. But how would you get 40 cars on one track at the same time, a quarter mile, without them, like, you know, wrecking each other every half second? Like, how does that work? Are you going to have to reduce the field down for that one race? Like, how would this work? How would they get, like, would they have to rip the grass up from the Coliseum, like the football field? Would they have to rip that up, pave it down with some new stuff so that the cars could race on it, and then after that, tear it up, put grass back on it? I'm extremely confused to how this would work. I really don't know how it would work. And then I was like, maybe it's not inside the stadium. Maybe they're doing an oval outside the stadium. The satellite picture, you can look at it. Obviously, inside the stadium, we talked about that. There is a little room in one of the end zones where it looks like they have kind of like an area for like concerts or something. I don't know. You could potentially take that out, I guess. I don't know if you can move it. I don't know if it's a permanent structure, but if you could take that out, that gives you a little bit more room. Other than that, I really don't know how this would work. You got to have a pit road. You have to get the haulers in there. I'm seriously don't know how this would work. But anyways, I'm getting beside the point. They have like the walking area, like the sidewalks outside the stadium, you know, so fans can walk around, get into the stadiums, go to concessions outside the stadium and stuff. And it's kind of an oval. It's got enough room for race cars. Are they talking about that maybe? I doubt, but I am extremely confused by this idea. Like, look, I love the idea of going like into LA, like actual LA, and having a NASCAR race. Now people can say, oh, they don't care about NASCAR in LA. Why are we going somewhere where they don't care about NASCAR? I think that's the stupidest argument ever, no offense. But anywhere where we can go to host a NASCAR race, I think is a good idea because we could get new fans. We could have different people show up. LA is full of celebrities, famous people. If we can get some of them to go to the race, you know, some of them go to the Fontana race. Get some of those big-name celebrities. Get Brad Pitt to a NASCAR race. Get, I don't know, other famous actor or actress to movie director, whoever it may be, get them to a NASCAR race, see what happens. I think it's a great idea to try to go to LA. You know, we don't have that many West Coast races. Everything's in the South or in the East, and there's a few Northeast races, but, you know, I think we do need to focus, not focus, but I think something that NASCAR does need to look at is going to more tracks across the whole country. There are 0 races in the Northwest, except for, I guess, Sonoma is technically the Northwest. Is it, though? I don't know. The point is, you know, there's not that many West Coast races. We have Phoenix twice a year, Las Vegas twice a year, Sonoma, Auto Club, and Auto Club didn't even get a race this year because of COVID. I feel like I'm missing some, but I might not because there's just not that many West Coast, west side of the country races. Other than that, the furthest west track is probably Texas or Kansas. I mean, there's just not that many tracks on the western side of the country. So I think we do need to look at possibly adding more tracks to the western United States. LA Coliseum, though, I love the idea of going to a historic sporting venue. I love the idea of going to actual LA and trying to get that fan base or trying to get some people there to get into NASCAR. I love that idea. I don't know what the city of LA will think. I don't know how it would work, but I like the general concept of going west. I like the general concept of going to LA, but I'm not 100% sold on the LA Coliseum. Simply because I'm sure there are other racetracks in that area, and also, how is it going to work? Someone's got to give me a plan. Someone's got to give me a detailed step-by-step of how they're going to turn a football stadium into a NASCAR Cup Series racetrack, or an Xfinity, or a truck. A big, major NASCAR Series racetrack. That is that seems like a lot of work. I know the Coliseum is an old stadium. I don't know when the last time it's been redone. Maybe they're planning on redoing it for the Olympics in 2028 when the Olympics are in LA. They're probably going to be hosting events in the Coliseum. They're probably going to have track events, field events. So maybe they might be redoing the Coliseum. Maybe they're going to do something to give it more space inside the stadium so that they can have these track and field events. Maybe that will open up the possibility for NASCAR to go there. It doesn't say when this is going to happen, but if it does happen, I don't think it's in the next 5 years. Because once again, I don't know how the logistics would work. I don't know how they would make this work. So I am not sure that it would be an easy turn this into a racetrack. Let's do it in 3 years. So I think this would take some time to develop. Obviously, you got to go to the city. You have to make a case to the city. The city has to approve it, all that stuff. Hosting a NASCAR race. And it's also in a pretty densely populated area. It's right next to the campus of USC. So, you know, I doubt they would want to do it like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they would do it during the school year. Try to get some college kids to the races. I don't know what they would do. The point being, it's not that I'm not sold on the idea. It's just I'm not sure how the idea would work. So there's just a lot of questions I have about this idea and how it would work. How would you get this together? How would it get approved? How would you make this race inside of a football stadium, a very historic football stadium, work? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, as I said, 1,000 questions. I could go on and on about the questions I have for this event. But in conclusion to this video, Gateway, great idea. Do it. Add it to the schedule. I love that idea. No hesitation. Do it. NASCAR, just do it. Get rid of I don't know, a 1.5-mile race. Do we even have any 1.5 miles with 2 dates? Kansas. Oh, well, I like Kansas kind of. But anyways, get rid of an intermediate. We've gotten rid of a lot of intermediate races over the past year. Michigan only has 1 date. Texas only has 1 date. Well, I guess they have the All-Star race. But anyways, Michigan, Texas, they both lost a date. Chicago is gone. Kentucky is gone. Chicago is one of the good ones. But the point being, 1.5 miles have been losing dates. Intermediate tracks have lost dates because NASCAR fans want to see more short tracks. They want to see more road courses. NASCAR has been leaning heavily towards the road courses, as we saw with this year's schedule. But it looks like they are trying to add more short tracks to the schedule. Now, they are a lot of random ideas. They are Auto Club being turned into a short track, and they are the freaking LA Coliseum, but at least they're being creative. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Like, subscribe, share. That would help me out a ton. Woo NASCAR. I'll see you for Michigan tomorrow.